Okay, awesome, everybody. So, welcome to 2026 Magic Meetup Machine, where the corniest name meets the most profitable lead gen solution we can come up with. And my name is Casey Eberhart. I am so beyond thrilled and excited that you guys are here. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited and thrilled you're here is because this is a topic and a platform that I believe is one of the most underutilized platforms on the planet for people to grow their business. And so tonight, we're going to have some fun. We're going to keep it pretty cash in terms of what we do. And my goal here at the end is that you leave here with either a completely new understanding of Meetup and how it works and how it can grow your business, or you see Meetup as a way to have in and of itself its own business that you could grow and utilize with it. And or you think this whole thing is a bunch of pooey and you just click off Zoom because it sucks. And to me, I make a bunch of money off Meetup. We have a lot of clients that use Meetup to make a lot of money, so I know it's possible. So I'm gonna just kind of share with you guys a little bit like where it came from, why I even do this, and so on and so forth. So um, first, we need to start someplace from scratch, okay? And here's where we need to start. We need to start by understanding what the lifetime value of one of your customers is, okay? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do even before we get started on Meetup itself. Yeah, we'll start here and then I'll do an introduction of myself and introduce Ryan and all this stuff. So I'm just super fired up and excited about this. So, lifetime value of a customer. What I would like for you guys to do is take out a piece of paper, take out a pen or pencil or abacus or whatever you need to, charcoal, whatever, and figure out what the lifetime value of your best customer actually is. Okay. And the way that is calculated is the number of dollars either in profit or revenue times the number of years that that person is going to stay on board with you. Now, I realize that some of you might be new in business and you may not know this. Some of you might be looking at a different type of project, but I'm really looking for you to understand the value of this and why we're going to talk about this. So once you have that number, either drop it in the chat just so I can see we've got them, or just put yes and you don't want to share it. I totally understand that. Okay, so we got 150 grand. Awesome. I'm assuming that is American dollars and not Australian dollars because you've got tons of stuff going on, Azim. So good to see you in here, by the way. Um, so once you have that number, either drop it in the chat or just tell me that you have that number. Okay, so yes, so 120 grand. Okay, 288 grand. Perfect. I love that. That's actually a great number. 5 million. Awesome. We've got 120 grand. Awesome. Linda has her number. Fantastic. Tony has her number. Fantastic. By the way, if you guys need a virtual assistant that like is here in the States and she's absolutely awesome, Tony is in the house. And if you need somebody, just reach out to her. She's fantastic. Frank has hers. Deborah has hers. Fantastic. Mike has his. Mary says 250K. Awesome. Okay, cool. So here's why this is important. If all today does over the course of a year gets you one more customer, what's the value? Okay. And that's the premise that I want to set up, because some people will say, well, yeah, but maybe I'm not going to get that many customers from Meetup. Okay. One customer for many of you, it's worth it. If I give you a strategy to use over the next 6 months, a year, okay, and that one customer is 288,000, 120,000, right? Unlimited. 288,000, 15,000, 120,000, 125,000 for Gail. How worth it is it? Okay. So the premise for me in all of these things that we talk about here is you've got to have multiple lead flows. And I'm going to start with a story. So for those of you that do not know me, um, I'm not a big guy that needs to sit and tell you a bunch of accolades because you're not here to think I'm awesome. I already think I'm awesome. But what I can tell you is this. The only thing I've done for my entire career is buy, sell, build, advise, and consult companies. I don't know anything else. I run a business growth mastermind called the Platinum Inner Circle. We've got about 80 clients in there right now. Some of them have been in there for up to 14 years. We don't have people returning for 14 years if it sucks. Okay. So I say that. The short version is I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I moved to Los Angeles to make movies. I was friends with the cast and crew of the show Growing Pains. For those of you that are old enough to remember, Kirk Cameron, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Tracy Gold, and Jeremy Miller, and Alan Thicke, and Joanna Kearns. They were all my really good friends. They talked me into moving down here to work in the movie business. 3 years after moving here, I was producing movies, feature films, won an Oscar Best Picture Award for a movie called Being John Malkovich in '99. And all I've done since then is basically buy, build, and sell and help company owners like you guys grow. So it's what I know, it's what I do. And I just think that Meetup is one of the most underutilized tools that we have at our disposal in today's marketplace to grow and monetize a business. So I've got a couple of premises before I jump into actual Meetup. When I look at something like Meetup, oh, I should also take a side deviation here. And I want to introduce Ryan Begley. So Ryan is my business partner in a marketing agency that we have together. Ryan also runs all the technology for basically all of my portfolio of companies that I run. He and I are also business partners in our Meetup portfolio, and he is one of the coolest guys on the planet. So if you have technology issues or challenges that you need help with, you don't have a CRM system and you want to get connected to a great CRM system, Ryan's your dude. He's out in Temecula, California, and he's absolutely awesome. So, Ryan, thanks for being here. I know that you're going to kind of help keep me on track and chime in here when I go off on my 37 tangents. Um, so stoked that you're here. We're going to lose Ryan at about 10 to 6, simply because he has, I don't know, one of his 87 children has some sort of sporting event banquet tonight that he's gonna pop off to. But that's why we build businesses, right? We build businesses so we can have freedom of choice and we can go spend time doing whatever we want with whoever we want at whatever time we want. Okay. So Ryan, good to have you here, my friend. It's been some
I'm leaving them with good hands.
exactly. Okay. So, you guys, meet up. Here's why. Let's see. How do I want to start this? Do me a favor, if you have no idea about Meetup, like even what it is or anything about Meetup, will you just put me in the chat? If you know a little bit, don't put me, but if you don't know anything about it, okay, so we have a couple of people that don't know a few. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, perfect. Well, hot diggity. Then I get to start at the basics. Okay. Buckle up, boys and girls. My goal here is to have you be kind of excited, about Meetup. So here's the deal. Meetup is essentially a dating app for business people. Okay. And when I say dating app, it just means marrying up people together that have a common interest. That's it. But here's what's awesome. So let's see. If I go back 10 years into social media, it was all about followers, and you saw content based on your followers. Okay. Flash forward where we are today. Today's social media is even more democratized than that. It is so democratized that we only see content that the system thinks we want to see. Okay. And if you're a follower of Gary Vee, he's been talking about this now for about 6 months at nauseum. But the reality is that you can go on social media right now, having not a single follower, make a good piece of content. And if that piece of content lands in front of somebody that has that interest, you can outperform pretty much anybody. Okay. So when we look at all these algorithms, you guys hear algorithms, they're just trying to figure out how, if Deborah makes a piece of content about bookkeeping, who wants to see that piece of content? And it tries to marry those two and have you stay on the platform as long as possible. That's the name of the game in social media. With Meetup, it's even sexier because its own internal marketing engine will put you in front of people that are just like you. Now, for some of us, that's kind of scary. So we want to trick the algorithm to not have them be exactly like us, but to have the same commonalities that we do. Okay. So the interesting thing about Meetup is the way that the platform works, and I'm going to try to do this in two different ways. You guys are going to have to play split screen with me a little bit because there is a way to understand Meetup from a member of Meetup. Okay, so you don't own any groups. You're just a lurker. Okay, and then there is a way you can actually own Meetup groups and control the groups. Okay, and so I'm going to kind of back and forth. Here's what's really cool. Let's say that I live in Seattle and I'm interested in health and wellness. Okay. Or I'm interested in real estate, or I'm interested in, or may I more say, my ideal customer is into blank, right? Well, people can go on Meetup and tell me, and I'm going to log into Meetup and show you guys all this. So I'm just kind of giving you some groundwork here, ground stuff here. It's going to ask you, what are you interested when you sign up? You're going to give it 15 or 20 topics. And then it's going to give you, based on your location and based on what you're interested in, opportunities to join groups that the organizer or the owner of those groups have said that that group is also about. And it's just going to match make. It's just going to marry you. So if I say I'm a nurse, I'm into underwater basket weaving, and I'm into Harley Davidsons, it's going to show me groups that are closest to nurses that are Harley Davidson riders that are into underwater basket weaving. And then you have the opportunity as a member to join unlimited groups. So you can join thousands of groups. And I'm going to make the case by the end of today why I think a bunch of you should join thousands of groups. Okay. Now, these groups, you do not have to do live events. You can do webinars, but so you can do live events or webinars if you wanted to do events. But here's the magic. You can also email directly every one of the people that are in one of those groups if you are the organizer and you own it. Okay? So if you are the organizer and you own it, you can email directly to those groups. Here's why that's important. Many people, you have all heard, the money's in the list. And many people go out and spend a bunch of money building an email list. They're running ads, they're running Facebook ads, they're running LinkedIn ads, right? So this is a way for you to get inside in somebody's inbox without really paying for it. People open in Meetup emails because they land in their primary inbox. They land in their primary inbox because the email comes from Meetup. Okay, so much like we get in emails from LinkedIn, same deal here. Whether they come from Eventbrite, LinkedIn, Meetup, they're trusted service. So what happens is those emails go directly into the inbox. Okay, this will become very important when we come time to promote and market our businesses. Okay. Um, Lauren says, doesn't it cost to be an organizer? Yes, it does cost to be an organizer. It costs you, I think it's $180. You can organize 3 events and you can organize 3 meetup groups. So you can own 3 groups per email address. And I think it's $180 for 6 months. Okay. Yep. Eileen says, is that only when you pay for the emails? Nope. You don't have to pay for the emails. When you own the group, you can email the group. By the way, you know how many times you can email the group? We do it once a day to some of them, and we have no problem. Okay? So when we are looking at this from a lead generation standpoint, it becomes really important that this becomes one source of generating leads. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? So Adrian says once a day, what do you talk about? I could send out a book of the day, a quote of the day, a win of the day. You could send out your newsletter. You could send out an event to your invites. You could send out an invite to somebody else's group. Yeah. So all kinds of things, right? The money is in the list. I'm just helping you guys shortcut the list. Why are we going to go sift through and sort through thousands of people on Facebook to hopefully be our ideal client when I can go right to Meetup, tell Meetup who the type of people I'm looking for, and let Meetup match me with the other people that are interested in that exact topic? We call that an NFB. No frickin' brainer. Okay? Yeah, Ryan.
So Meetup, I mean, to say what you want to talk about, obviously, one of the big things I would probably focus on is an event. So, event announcements. If you're not doing full-blown events, they're pretty easy these days. Like a podcast, an interview with somebody could be labeled as an event. Like there's many different ways, especially now that they open up the online event, like the virtual event capabilities. So Meetup used to be traditionally really in person. It is still very good for that. There's 10, 20 different reasons why, and I'm sure we'll get into some of those tonight, but as far as like geographical SEO and all of these, there's a lot of really cool things that Meetup does when you put an event on, and notifications about that event is great. So you can plan multiple events week. It could be an hour event virtually, and it's communication with everybody in that group. Remember, you know what they're interested in. So, what to talk to them about? Well, we all know ChatGPT right now. Let's say, hey, I have a group that's really interested in XYZ. Give me some topics to talk to them about. And I'm sure it'll give you more than you could ever go through and read through if you really wanted to. So, the topic isn't really, it's a matter of you found, you know, the audience. There's two ways to really make money in business. It's like you have a product that is superior than others and you need to go find the people that want it, or you got a massive audience that you know what they want, so you put what they want in front of them. Like go find what they want. So Meetup already has, through their platform, identified people's that are all interested in something, and that's through the group. And there's some killer ways that we've done over the years as far as not starting from ground zero doing this the really slow way, which is the mind-blowing part where I'll let Casey get into that. But the fundamentals, what we're talking about right now, is it's a Meetup platform. The more that you can bring people together, educate them, that's what they want. That's going to be ideally the best communication. But it's not limited to that. You could send newsletters, you can send just emails, promotional things through there. It's all your option, really.
Yes. 100%. Okay. Um, sorry, people are trying to like, yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. Somebody I saw in here said, can't I do this for free? Yeah, the way to do it for free is to go be a member of a group of meetups that have your ideal client in and go participate when they hold live events. If they do a live event or if they do a Zoom event, you are in look, here's the thing. You guys, we have to get to a point where you understand that from business, you have to know who your ideal customer profile is, the ICP, ideal customer profile. You have to know who that person is, and then you have to go find where they're hanging out, and then you have to go be in the room. It's full stop. I didn't say where you want to hang out. If your ideal customer profile is hanging out on Meetup, then be in Meetup. If your ideal customer profile is hanging out at truck stops, then go hang out at truck stops. I'm just saying that this gives us a huge, easy shortcut to being in front of our ideal clients. Okay, Ryan, are you watching the waiting room, dude?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am. Some of the like Zoom users I'm being hesitant on.
Yeah, I don't let in Zoom. I'm letting in Zoom users nor the note takers. So, um, okay. So, Meetup. We're going to go in. I'm going to show you guys this. So you can go be a member of Meetup for free. You just go to meetup.com, join for free. One of the things it's going to ask you in your profile is to list out the things that you are interested in. When you do this, let me give you some shortcuts here. Do not pick your own definitions because you think it's cute. You are not going to find relationship marketing specialist in the keywords. We want to play with what the algorithm already knows. So if Terry is into motorcycles, put motorcycles. I understand that there are two types of motorcycles, Indian motorcycles and Harleys. Maybe there's meetup groups depending on that. It's going to ask you for your zip code. If you're in a rural small town and you want to play in a bigger pond, put a zip code for the bigger city near you. Okay? Because when you search things, it's going to let you search within 25 miles of a particular zip code if you're looking for geographic locations. Okay, so if you're in a small town, you might consider putting a zip for a bigger town near you. When you go in and you choose the things, let it suggest to you what it thinks you want and choose those. Because I don't want you to get too niched, like I'm into, and remember, it's trying to match you with people that think have common interests. So if I'm a real estate investor, I'm going to look for real estate investors. Okay? If I'm trying to sell something to real estate investors, I'm going to still say that my category that I want to hang out with are real estate investors. Okay? So if I'm looking at Deborah because I know she does bookkeeping, right? If I was a bookkeeper, I'm not going to say that the category I'm interested in is bookkeeping. That's not what it's going to try to match me with. But let's say that I was a bookkeeper and one of my ideal clients are I'll just make one up. Network marketers. Okay? Because I understand the business and I'm just going to make kind of my niche in there. That's one of the places I want to spend. I would go join meetup groups and ultimately I'm going to try to convince you to own the meetup groups, but I would start by joining the groups that have network marketers in there. Okay? Maybe you sell to life coaches or women entrepreneurs or stay-at-home moms or whatever. So I want you to find the categories. Um, so Peter, I want to gather owners of thousands of multifamily units. Okay, so real estate investor, multifamily investors. Easy. That's going to be an easy one. Remember, you have to also think about who's joining this thing. If I own a 1,000 unit apartment complex, I'm probably not on Meetup. Okay? My assistant might, my team might, my contractors might, my vendors might, my subcontractors. Yeah. Um, uh, Small businesses. Um, I don't. Deborah, we'll look. Small service businesses. So small meaning they make under $4,000 a year. That's what you want is you want to work with businesses that make under $4,000 a year? To me, they're broke.
No, no, I'm just looking for like massage therapists, so someone that's making like 100,000 a year, but small service businesses, not just small businesses.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna try to stay out of my coach mode, and I had a coaching call this afternoon, so I'm gonna try to stay out of that. Um, my definition of small business and your definition of small business and the government's definition of small businesses are all very different. According to the government, a small business is under 50,000 employees. According to Deborah's, a small business is making under 100,000. For me, a small business is somebody that makes under 20 million. Okay, so I would try to stay away from I just help business owners. And if you want to stick to local business owners, I would stick to local business owners in a particular zip code. And you're looking for people that are into networking, right? So if they're doing 100 grand to 200 grand, they're probably into networking. I'm looking for those types of businesses that are still networking. Okay. Group of cruise travelers, easy. Travelers, there's going to be a gazillion of them in here that are travelers. Cruises, Easy. That's going to be an easy one. Okay. So we're going to go in, we're going to create a profile that has 15 topics that we're interested in, and then we just sit back and wait. Meetup is going to send us some emails that say, hey, these are some groups we think are interesting enough for you to play in. Okay. You can also then go out and start searching for groups as well. Okay. So that's the
So,
member side.
Casey, so I logged in and it says name your, well, before I name my group, it says choose topics for your group. It says minimum 3. Is more better or less better? Like wide or super niche?
Well, I wouldn't start a group just yet. So just join it as Meetup. Don't start a group yet.
And I would say that I would hear some of the night before you dive right in, because it is there's some foundational things that we're going to cover, and just know kind of the spectrum.
I want you guys to get big picture, and then we'll get granular. Okay, so Drew, just hold on that. Just hold on that for a second. Okay, so okay, so much. Okay, now here's what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna get in here, and you're gonna go, wow, there are groups of here 1,000. Oh, I would also. This is for my own strategy for you guys. Do not join groups that have under 500 people in them. Okay. Do not join groups that have under 500 people in them. They're just not that active. Okay. Even if they just not. I mean, we have a group, our portfolio is over 100,000 people, and we'll have 20 show up. So remember, it's big eye on the prize. We're not trying to think that this is going to like fill giant events. This is just a place for us to grow our list and grow our network. Okay. So we're going to join a bunch of groups that have over 500 people in them. They're going to match our topic. Meetup's going to send us some emails when it comes up with somebody that's starting a new group. I don't join new groups at all. I'll only join groups that have a minimum of 500 in there. As you become a snob, you're going to raise that, and it'll probably be closer to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And I'll tell you why here in a second. Okay. So now I want to flip to why I think you should own the groups. I want you to own the groups. Yeah, Debbie.
I just wanted to add also not private groups.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Debbie Morrow. She has one of the largest and most active real estate agent Facebook groups on the face of the planet. Over on Facebook, over 370,000 people. She has a built-in email list of amassed over 190,000 people. She's absolutely amazing. She's built out an epic real estate team. She's one of my favorite people. So she also uses Meetup. Okay, so other very, very important piece. Okay, these are the things where I need you to just trust me. Do not join private groups. It's way too hard to build them when we take them over. And do not join groups that are part of a pro network. Write this, circle it. If you take nothing away from today, other than these two things, it will save you a lot of headache. Do not join groups that are part of the pro network, and do not join private groups. Okay, so we're looking for public groups over 500 people, not part of a pro network. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about buying a group for a second, or taking over groups. Okay. When you take over a group or when you acquire a group, they are going to beg you to join their pro network. Okay. Do not do it. 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 Don't do it. Don't do it. Please do not do it. Okay? They're going to seduce you. Oh, you get everything under one category. Oh, we're going to give you a little bit of money. Do not do it. They are very difficult to move. We are going to start trading these groups back and forth. And if they're part of a pro network, you cannot break it out. Think of it for you real estate investors, think of it having been like a bunch of properties in an LLC, and then you can't get one property out to do anything with. Okay? So, no pro network, public groups, over 500 people. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, we've had clients that we've done an intensive with, and they get seduced. They get seduced every single time. And even though we say it over and over and over again, we always find that it's a big pain in the ass. Okay? So you can organize 3 meetup groups for every account. Okay? Now, it's going to cost you about $1.80 for 6 months. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to give Debbie credit because I'm looking at her and she reminded me of this last time. When you go to organize a group, meaning buy a group or start a group, you're going to need to pay $180. They are going to give you some options. Pay the $180 or do it over a couple of months payment plan. Okay? If you back out of them, so Luke, I don't really want you to start a group unless you really want to. What I'd rather have you do is go in and join a bunch of groups and then go in and try to acquire them. Okay. So a few of you will probably join us in an intensive, and we're going to walk through that. But yeah, so you could start a group, but I'd rather see you go join a bunch of groups of your ideal clients and start playing in it that way. Okay. When you don't pay and you sort of back out, they're going to put up a flyer in front of you most of the time that says, hey, we'll give you a discount. I think it's 20 or 30% off your first payment. Okay. And this is critical. Another reason why you're here. You want to pay for the first 6 months up front because they're only going to give you 20 or 30% off your first payment. So if you do a $30 payment because you're going to do it in 6 months, you're going to save $6. If you do it at the $180, you're going to save $60. Okay, so they're only going to take that 20% off one payment. Okay, does that make sense? Jennifer's nodding her head, so I'm doing good. Okay. So remember, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to build, engage, and market. So we're going to now go in and we're going to acquire some groups. So I'm going to have you go join a bunch of groups and participate. So Hovig, by the way, down here, he's got his hands full like this. He's a trader. He's developed a really cool trading strategy for people that want to day trade the futures market, right? So for him, we're going to absolutely be using this strategy to get in front of people that are day traders or that are swing traders or that people that are interested in investing, right? He wins all the time, which is, as a trader, really awesome, right? So that's how we're going to build out his stuff. By the way, if you're interested in trading futures, you should probably get to know Hovig. Maybe your bank account should get to know Hovig. Okay. Okay. So once we own a group or 2 or 3, there are a bunch of things that we can do with that group. We can email that group. We can go in and we can rebrand that group. And by rebranding the group, I basically just mean take the old owners, all their nonsense off and rebrand it with our stuff very quickly. In your notes of like cool hip things to do of why you're here, make this note. The nanosecond you get a group, you want to rebrand it as fast as possible. Okay? Let me tell you why. Okay. I'm going to give you a quick strategy here. I'm only going to say it once or twice. Those of you that continue on with the intensive with us, we're going to really dive into this, but here's the deal. Let's say you join a bunch of groups. What happens when the organizer of that group doesn't pay their credit card bill? Meetup is going to send out an email that says, who wants to take over the group? The first one that clicks the button takes the group. So when it was Luke, I think, who was asking about starting a group, I would much rather have you take on groups because remember, we're only part of groups that have over 500 people in them. So now I'm a member of a bunch of groups. Somebody doesn't pay their credit card, I can go in and take the group immediately. All I have to do is click a button and it's my group. Now that group comes to me, I'm going to immediately rebrand it. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm already logged into Zoom. I'll show you why we do this. I'm going to rebrand it as fast as possible. The reason I'm going to rebrand it as fast as possible, and I would say about 1 out of 25, 1 out of 30 meetup groups, the original organizer will throw a hissy fit. Oh, but my credit card, the unicorn ate my credit card and now I can't pay the bill and now I really want my group back. And Meetup will once in a while come back and say, hey, Drew, you know what? She called, she paid, I got to give her a group back. And they'll take the group back from you and give it back to the old owner. But you know what we know about business owners that run Meetup groups? They are lazy, which means you've already rebranded the group. They took it from you, so now somebody else is paying for it, and they most likely will not rebrand it back to themselves, and now it will sit there with all your branding and all your links on it.
Or
As
they'll at least miss something. They might change some of it, but they almost never change everything.
Yeah, it's and Debbie does this all day long. So Debbie has a network of meetup groups all throughout the country because she uses them to help attract people into a real estate brokerage business, as well as help her agents that are already in the brokerage business find new leads, find new customers, and help grow their brokerage. Okay, so we've built out an entire like playbook strategy for this. Okay. All of this goes back to saying, guys, the less you pay for a lead, the more leads you can pay for. So I'm going to show you a couple of things, and I just want to go in here, and we're gonna go in and play. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. This is pretty chill.
Hey, Case, can I just say one thing before you guys get all into the nitty, but go get into it. The real strategy here is really simple. We acquire groups. Once we own the group, we're trying to get people off of Meetup as fast as possible onto our email list. That's like the strategy. So understand every single mechanism, every single opportunity, every single thing that we actually do, any energy or resource that is spent is all based on creating ways to get somebody off of Meetup through all of the branding, through all of the event marketing. Everything is to get them from Meetup onto our list. So I just want to, I think I said it 4 times now. So
Yeah.
just make sure we see that picture very clearly. And I think as Casey goes through this, you'll really start to see that what we've done, and it may make a lot more sense. So I just want to kind of lay the playing field there. That is the main deal.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys a couple of really good examples, concrete examples. So you cannot download the user's emails, and nor can you do that in Pro. Only after they join. It is don't do Pro, please, 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 pretty please, don't do Pro. You just gotta trust me. Okay? So I would rather figure out how to get somebody to opt into my email list, come to an event, come to a Zoom, come to registration, come to a live event, and then build a relationship with them. Okay, so many of you are here today because you are part of our meetup groups. And we spammed the hell out of you to get you to come to join this program. What did we do? We had you register for the program. You're now on our email list. Okay, that's way number 1. You'll get a weekly email from me all about expanding your business. Some of you will end up working with us. Some of you will read our emails. Some of you will unsubscribe. It's just the nature of the gig. Okay. I run a real estate investor group here in Los Angeles where we have, I think, 10 or 20 meetup groups that are it might even be more than that are promoting that event every single week on autopilot. It's just sending emails out, reminding people that we meet at the Sizzler. And we have people come. Mary's in here. Rainey's in here. There are a bunch of people. Quincy is in here. All because Meetup promoted the Sizzler. When they come to the Sizzler at the live event, we have everybody use their phone and check in with a QR code. They give us their information. They are now on our email list. And now we can remind them to keep coming back to the Sizzler. And we've grown that Sizzler group from about 20 people. I don't know if it's genius that we meet at the Sizzler. That's a stretch, right? I mean, we just want to keep the urgent care facilities around town in business. Yeah, we meet at Sizzler because it's a salad bar. Everybody has to buy a lunch, and they don't charge us anything as long as everybody's lunch. I do not recommend doing meetings at Sizzlers, by the way. It is not highbrow. Okay. But it is a way for Meetup to promote to the real estate investors in Los Angeles that we have this lunch. People can come, and Mary's here because of that. Mary is here because of Meetup. She's got a bunch of business from there. So that's how we run. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys this first. This is our tracker. So we have a tracking document that we have the links of the groups themselves, the name of the groups. We have different categories here across the top. Okay. And then we also keep track of how many people are in each of our groups. This one has 3,200. This has 1,400, 2,000, right? So this portfolio has 128,000 people in it that we can email at a given moment's notice. So let's say, for example, that Drew says, hey, Case, I want you to come on a podcast with me. And I go, okay, Drew, well, I can promote that podcast to 128,000 people. Do you guys get that I can promote this to 128,000 people and not even send one to my email list? This becomes huge. If I created a YouTube video and I wanted to have people subscribe to my YouTube channel because I wanted them to watch a video, couldn't I send these people an email and say, hey, I just popped a new video out on the greatest, latest training on insurance, on how you can bank on yourself? Or, hey, I just did a video on 3 things that you could save money with these tax saving bookkeeping tips. Okay, all kinds of. So I want you guys to see just from a tracking thing, because you do have to be organized. As you grow a portfolio, you're going to have different email addresses that are assigned to that portfolio. Okay, remember, you can only own 3. Do not get seduced into pro. 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 You're going to have to do 3 at a time. So we have 20 different Gmail accounts, and that's how we roll. Okay, we also have a bunch of partnerships. So these are all partners. These are all meetup groups that we are partnered with. We are partnered with the owners. Jay, who's on here, we're partnered with him. So we have a bunch of different partnerships of people that we are partnered with. Okay. So these, and then we have our real estate ones. We've got a real estate portfolio here in different states here. So just wanted you to see that we have it kind of as a tracking document. Okay. So I want to just go in here because I want to show you guys like inside here what we did. So this is just Meetup. Okay. Sorry, I want to move you guys so I can see if you guys have chat questions. Okay. So I'm just in Meetup. Okay. See, how can I do this? Let me.
Hey, Casey, you should go to that group. I'm sure you're going to, but the strategy was I just flipped that group out. So if you go to that, keep the group going, you'll see our branded still in there, and we aren't the organizers.
This LA podcasting one?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the deal. Remember, guys, I want you to take these groups over because now it jumpstarts, so you don't have to start a group. Okay, so this LA web podcasting, WordPress, app streaming, artist groups need. Oh, by the way, you guys, this is a stop share because this is important. I need you to understand this. Meetup is indexed by Google, which means that if you do a group in your local town with the proper keywords, you will show up primarily on page 1 of Google. If you really wanted to trick this out, do you understand that you could actually sell that to me? Hey, Suzanne Daniels, good to see you on here. It becomes really powerful when you understand this. Okay? So if I go, I wanted to make sure you understood the power of it being on page 1 of Google. So I could take this group. Now I have 3 groups in this account, so I'm not going to be able to take this over, but I could keep this group going. All I have to do is click on this group. I've reached my maximum thing. So, but I could just go up here and remove this step up here. Okay. So this was one of our groups. We stepped down from it. There was only 673 people in it, but you can see here, we promoted our Networking Riches events in here. This was a group we gave away, or we promoted somebody else's event in here. We have Magic Meetup Machine all the way from August of 2025. But this group is available. Somebody could just go take this and own the group immediately. All they have to do is click this, become the organizer. Super easy. Okay? That's why I don't want you to go start a group when you can just go organize a bunch of groups and take them on. Okay? So I did want to show this real quick. When you get your profile, okay, here are the interests that this account is interested in. So I can sit here and load these. And these are the things I'm interested in: cash flow, e-business, business strategy, online, women entrepreneurs, professional development. I am a member of 231 groups. I have this little piece about me, and these are the 3 groups that this account organizes. Okay? So if we take a look at each of these groups, if I go in here, Real Estate Investors Unite, this is one that we have not rebranded. We actually just took this one over, but I wanted to keep it so you guys could see it. So here's the deal. So now you take over a group, okay? And I don't have the chat button in front of me, so let's see, I'm going to put it up here. If you guys have questions for me, just take yourself off mute and scream at me, okay? And I'm gonna stop in about 10 or so minutes, and we'll just total do Q&A here too, okay? So we just took this group over, okay? We haven't really done anything with it. Well, let's manage the group. I go in here and I do membership details, and we're just gonna start rebranding it, okay? I need a picture on this thing, right? So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go pick a picture. Now I haven't made a picture, so I'm just gonna make one up here. Okay. That's gonna be not a stupid. I can make that just be the picture of the group. Okay. So you'll want to do Canva or some AI thing, make a picture for your group. Okay. I can change where it's based. Again, I'm just going to manage this group, and I'm going to go through here and I'm going to go to edit group settings. Edit group settings. I can go to basic info. Here's the thing. This is the name of the group. I can change the name of the group. This is my favorite thing. Here's the description. But here's what you guys have to understand. This becomes clickable. All I have to do is insert a link here so you can see that when somebody comes here to the description, now it has this to my Expand the Business Facebook group. So now I've got a place for them to come to my Facebook group. And then right here, my Power Networking Tips is a way to have them join have them join my Power Networking Tips, which is essentially my email newsletter. Okay. I could have a customer label here, video here. Where are they? This is the zip. Okay. So this is the web domain. If I do meetup.com / Los Angeles Real Estate Investors 91601, that is the domain for this meetup group. Okay, so that's the zip code here in LA. That's the one I would use. And then here are the topics. Okay, so these are all topics. So if I wanted to get rid of one of these, let's just get rid of cash flow here. Now I can search here for a topic. Oh, see, you can tell I used knitting as one of these examples before. But I can just gonna start typing in, sorry, real estate agents. I now just make that as one of the deals. And it will tell you when you're done, okay? Social media, you can add all your social media accounts in here: Twitter, Flickr, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, all that, and just hit save. And when you do that, you'll see down here where it says your settings have been saved. Don't try to do too many before you save it. So save your work as it goes. It can get kind of glitchy, okay? So Diane says, how do you find groups to take over? Notice how I was part of 231 groups. I'm going to do keyword search. And you know what, Diane, hold that thought, because I'll come right back to that, because you did catch me out of order, which is
right. I was about to say we got to go to the profile. The step is the profile, and that's the first one because
yeah. So I'm just in this, so I'm gonna just keep rolling with this, and then I'll come back to it. So new member settings, right? I can require approval for new members. I leave it off. Require photo. I leave it off. Profile questions. Next tip, do not set this to on. It will limit the number of people. I want as many people to join this group as possible. Even though, yes, you can ask questions and force them to give you your email address, they're just not that willing to do that up front. Okay. And then I can give them a new welcome message if I want. Okay. Okay. And then we just save those, and we're just going to continue to go down this group setting and rebrand these. Okay. Group privacy. Remember, we want a public group. When you change your privacy, and all members and organizers of the group will see an email notification of the change. Once you make a group go private, it cannot be changed back. Okay? So, right here, private, only members of the group can see its full content, including details of its members. Some information about the group is public. It's just name and stuff. Okay? Very, very important. Do not do join. Okay? So, going back to where do we find groups to take over? Okay? I'm just going to search up here, and I'm going to search real estate, and then I'm going to check Puyallup, Washington, which is where I grew up. Okay? And I'm going to search here. I'm going to go to groups, and here are all the groups that I would join. Okay? So Bonnie, I don't join anything that's under 500. Okay? So here's Tacoma Real Estate Investing Group. I'd come right in here. This is a perfect one. Let's see. It's ready for me to join. Oh, you know what? I think I'm already a member of this. See, we do this, and that's what happens. I'm already a member.
The other deal, though, too, is from the profile perspective, from the very beginning, when you create your profile, you put in a bunch of interests, what you're interested in. And why Casey said you kind of go general with it, because the algorithm Meetup will put in front of you groups based on those interests. So it will already start self-identifying with the groups in bigger areas, which will most likely have bigger numbers. And they usually also give you the more active groups because they want to put in front of the ones that people are joining quickly using the algorithm at play. So it really starts from the profile, right from where you start. Once you have that, Meetup dishes you off some groups. And then this is more specialty when you can go directly and find things specific to really whatever topic you want.
Yeah. Now I searched real estate in my hometown of Puyallup, which is why I was a member of most of those. So I just pulled one that was small, 209 members, finding female friends after 50. I could hit this request to join. That request to join means the group is private. Okay. So I'm not gonna join that. Okay. So Sandy says, if you're in all these groups, are you getting tons and tons of emails? Yep. 100%. Okay. But if my ideal client is $288,000, I am happy to get those emails, because the reason is, Sandy, because I now am, if I am a member of this Tacoma Real Estate Investing Group, first off, I'm interested in real estate investing. And secondly, there's 1,278 people, so that if somebody doesn't pay, if this guy, watch it be me. So if Tom and Shelly don't pay their bill, right? If Tom and Shelly don't pay their bill, their Meetup will send an email to all 1,278 members of this group and say, hey, Tom and Shelly didn't pay their bill. Important message. Who wants to take the group over? One click of a button and you own it. It's just like that. So our strategy is we basically cast a wide net of all these groups, and then we take over them as they come available, and then we rebrand them. Okay?
Casey, everything I'm seeing is saying join group, and you just said that's private, not to join them.
No, join group and request to join group are different.
Oh, so if it says join group, join it. If it says request, don't?
I don't, because I know it's a private group. I'm going to have to answer a bunch of questions, and they're going to tell me it's all about security. I want to cast the widest net with this strategy.
So Casey,
Yep.
I own meetup.com/growth. I think it's a great URL. There's only 174 members or 124 members. It was a horrible group. But it has a great URL. Is it worth anything? I have another group that I want to go take right this second, but I'm maxed out. So rather than
Personally, first off, I would see if Ryan maybe wants to take the group on. Or one of the things about our intensive is we've got a WhatsApp channel where a bunch of people help each other and take on groups and swap
I
groups.
will give it to Ryan. If Ryan wants it right now, he can go join the group and I will literally hand it to him and transfer ownership so I can get this other one that I want that's much more in my techie space.
Yeah, it might not be something he wants, so just he'll connect with you. He'll connect with you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. How do we keep an eye on those emails and request a takeover? You don't. They send out emails once a day. When those groups become available, it comes out 5 a.m. Pacific. Okay. So we have a WhatsApp channel with all our intensive members and our pick members, and they are watching for other people, and it becomes this kind of communal thing. So, yeah, so they send out emails once a day on that. Okay?
You got to have a system, basically. That's where the spreadsheets come involved. That's where, we've been doing this for quite a while, so it's kind of first nature, but there is, without a system in place, there's absolutely zero way we could build a portfolio to the numbers we did.
Yeah, so you guys, so here's what I want to do. Ryan. Okay, so you guys, so here's what I want to do. I want to take a second, and I know that it's 5 o'clock, so here's what I want to do for the rest of the time. I'm going to take 5 minutes. I've mentioned this intensive. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the intensive for 5 minutes. Ryan's going to drop the link to the intensive in the chat. Okay. And then I want to just show you what being a part of the intensive is. I'm only going to spend 5 or 10 minutes with it. And then if you guys want to join it, cool. If you don't, that's cool. And then we'll spend the rest of the time answering questions. Okay. Because I want you guys to get tons of value out of this. So we know this strategy backwards and forwards. Our Platinum Inner Circle members are going through this strategy as one of their lead flows. And so we decided we would open up and do this intensive. So the intensive is essentially 4 weeks, and we're going to take you from start to finish, deep dive. You will be monetizing your meetup groups by the end of the 4 weeks. Full stop. The only way you won't monetize your meetup group working with us in the intensive is if you do nothing. Do nothing, make nothing. Full stop. Okay? So let me tell you just 2 seconds about the intensive. And Ryan, are you still with me? Okay.
I am.
So,
Yep.
okay. So Ryan just put the deal in here. So let me tell you what this is so you guys get a good idea. The first thing we're going to do, you guys, is it's 4 weeks long. It's on Mondays from 4 to 6. We're going to start on the 23rd. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just give you a meetup group that has over 500 people in it. Okay. So we'll literally take one out of our portfolio and just put it in your account. Okay. We will work with you to make sure that that occurs before day one. So that way you've got something that you can work with. And the great news is you can rebrand this. If it's part of real estate and you want to rebrand it to be underwater basket weaving, you can go ahead and do that. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay. So my goal is by the end of this intensive that you have everything you need to do to set up this strategy and the ongoing support to be able to monetize these things. Okay. So number one, we're going to give you a meetup group. You're not going to have to go through the strategy of figuring out and waiting and doing all of that. We're just going to give you one of ours. Okay. Here's what we're going to put in this thing. Number one, I've talked about this WhatsApp channel. This WhatsApp channel is going to contain all the people that have been in our previous intensives, as well as our Platinum Inner Circles members that are also in this meetup, intensive. People are sharing meetup groups. They know what each other's looking for. They're taking over. They're generating joint ventures and collaborations. So they can be, you can also be a co-organizer of other people's meetup groups. So if Debbie gives me the co-organizer role in her meetups, I can pretty much do whatever I want in her groups. becomes really valuable when you partner with people as well. So we're going to show you how to partner. There are going to be tons of people that will want to partner with you. And basically, like one of the things that we do, guys, is we go in and we promote our events in our partners meetup groups if they let us, if they give us permission, and we actually use their affiliate link to be able to do that. So Debbie lets us promote in her groups because we go in and promote in her groups and we use her affiliate link. She doesn't do anything and we pay her a check. Okay? So you'll get access to our WhatsApp channel. We're going to do 4 live sessions together on Mondays. Those are all going to be recorded. You're going to get the replays and the recordings of those. You're going to get all our templates. So like the tracking documents, all of our documents, we're going to give you as templates. Okay, so you will have those. We're going to show you how to work those. We're going to give you the checklist so you can go through piece by piece by piece. We're going to show you how to automate a lot of this. We've got an option to a co-organizer partner program with us, which means that we'll partner with you on some of these. So we'll help you monetize it. Let us be your partner. We're happy to do that. Let some other people collaborate and be partners in the program. You don't have to. It's just an option. Okay? Here's the deal. We're going to do an event like this in a few days as a second one. The meetup groups that we're going to put in your accounts, we're going to go in order of those of you that join the intensive. So if you're the first one that joins the intensive, you're pretty much going to get the biggest group. Okay. And we're going to kind of just go down that. And Ryan's going to work with you guys. It'll get time stamped. And so whoever's ready to go, that's how we're going to do it. Okay. We've got some other bonuses, some of these things that we're going to go through in the intensive itself. And then the membership site, we're going to give you the access to all the recordings. Everything will be inside of a portal. Okay. So this is how it works. You'll just go to meetupintensive.com. Ryan put it in there. Click the red button. It's going to take you here. It's $1,000. It's $997. Okay. But if you put in the coupon code get 500, no spaces, and I believe it's all capital. Okay. Put in get 500, click apply. It'll take 50% off. We'll give you $500 off. Okay. So it'll be $497. Okay. So I think Ryan put that in the chat. Yeah, he did. Okay. Let me save this. Okay. So I know that I'm going to lose, I know I'm going to lose Ryan here in a few minutes, but I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to join this intensive. Here's the thing. I make no guarantees because you're going to have to do some work. You will have to not work and work at the same time, not to make at least $500 back. My goal is to have you guys monetizing this thing with affiliate links, collaborations, getting people on your email list, growing your list, growing your audience. It's only going to take a couple of clients in order for this to really make sense. Okay. So go join the intensive. Come hang out with us for 4 weeks. It's going to be awesome. And we'll have a lot of fun and we'll get really nitty gritty. So the way I do the intensive, just so you guys are aware, we take one chunk and we drill down heavy on it. So one, we're going to teach you the profile and finding a bunch of groups to join. One session we're going to do just on rebranding and we're going to do it as a group. So we're all going to rebrand together with homework assignments. Okay. We're going to monetize together. You go, oh, crap. Well, I'll show you guys this as soon as I'm done with this. Debbie, will you remind me, just because I'm going to lose Ryan here, I'm going to make you co-host, by the way. Thank you. She got put on I should have asked. I'm going to show you how you can email out everybody in your groups. Okay. There's 2 different ways. So this will be huge. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to do those in separate chunks. And then once you're in the Meetup Intensive, you're going to be in the WhatsApp group all through the process. Okay. That WhatsApp group is probably the most active WhatsApp channel that I run. Okay. People are like, hey, I got to give this group up. Like you saw Adrian, I've got this group and I really want it, but hey, does somebody want this group over here? And Jennifer's building groups of women entrepreneurs and I've got a women entrepreneur, but I got a bigger one that I found in Turkey that I really want over this in Turkey. And so it's a lot of horse trading and we're going to show you how to do all of that stuff. Okay. So I want to open this up to Q&A. I want to make sure I get every question you guys have answered. So if you want to put them in chat, you can put them in chat. If you want to just jump in, jump in. I do want to go back up here because I think it's important for you guys to see this. Once you're inside here, contact members. Check this out. Here's how I can email this. I can email this whole group of 692 members, all members, okay? I can send it to all members that are active, members based on RSV, based on inactive. I just click it on all members. What's new? I can say, um, you know, and I can go right in here and say, I could put this in here, click send message, and it sends it out to everybody in the group, all 692 people. Second way to be able to do that is you can pull this email right here and send that same email out of like your Gmail account to that group, to that email. Now here's the thing. You need to make sure that that is BCC. Do not put that in the number one. Do not put that in the don't put that in this main line.
That's if you're emailing to a bunch of groups at once. If you're just mailing to that one, it's fine. But if you're if you have 3 groups or 20 groups or 150 groups, you want to BCC that email address. But the cool thing is that I have learned is that if you mail it the other way, the first way Casey showed you, they can't respond directly to your Gmail. But if you mail it the second way that he just showed us, people can just hit respond and it goes right back to your email. So it doesn't have to go through the Meetup system.
And that is a bug that they fixed because it used to be that if somebody replied back to that, that reply would go to everybody on the list. And so it just turned into a big spam loop. So they closed that off, which is now why this is a really good tool. So for example, when we send out to 128,000 people, we have all of those emails in one section. We just copy it, paste it in the BCC, go to our Gmail, hit send, and boom, it's out in 2
Hey
seconds.
Casey, I just tried to sign up and I'm getting a 404 message, page not found.
You're on the intensive?
Yep. Put all my information in. I clicked on the payment and then I went to some sort of page not found message.
Is anybody else having that same problem? Who said it? Was it Eugene?
Yep.
Hey, Eugene, will you just shoot me an email, just casey@caseyeberhart.com, and just say, hey,
Okay.
I put one in, and I'll make sure we get you, if there's a problem with that, I'll make sure that we get you that link. But I know that they tested it earlier today, and it seemed,
What's happening?
Eugene is saying that when he goes to hit the pay page, that it's saying it's a 404 error.
Mm. Mm.
And I did it. I went to the page, put all my information in twice, and hit pay, and I got the error twice.
Okay, thank you. Let me check.
So let Ryan check that. So while I got you guys here, like, what questions do you have? I'm an open book. I'm not one of these guys. I'm not holding anything back. The only reason I'm doing the intensive this way, you guys, is because we can do it in a smaller group and we make sure that everybody's like playing on the same page. So, um, yeah, you can absolutely tag it in Meetup so that you can send it all at once. The start date for the first intensive is going to be Monday the 23rd. Monday the 23rd. And those will all be recorded and they will be put in the membership site for you guys. And that way you have access to them. You can go back and watch them, and all the worksheets and templates and Google Docs and all that will be inside there. And we'll show you guys how to do all that for sure.
So Ryan, I just tried it because I know I can get my money back from you if I put my payment in, and I got the same 404 page not found.
Okay. Hold on.
So Deborah says, or Howard says, how do we find takeover candidates? I would go join groups that have your ideal clients in them, and then I would wait. It's kind of a waiting game.
It is a waiting game at first when you first start joining them, but I'm a member, I think 1,800 groups, and almost daily I get messages about groups that the owner isn't, um, somebody didn't pay their bill, or somebody stepped down, or whatever, groups to take over. And when you're part of the intensive, me and Casey and a bunch of other people actually put the links to those groups in the WhatsApp chat, and anybody can go grab them that they want them. All of mine are real estate because that's specifically my game. But there's a lot of different interests in the group.
Yeah.
You're waiting for what?
We're waiting for somebody to not pay their bill.
Oh, how much is the bill for these things?
It's 180 for 6 months.
Oh,
Okay, I
Yeah,
would
and
try if we could get you to try there one more time there. I think that's fixed.
I always recommend to pay it annually, because that's where you're going to get your biggest bang for your buck on the 30% discount the first time. And it brings it down from like $300 a year to $233 or something like that your first year. Um, so, and then you only have to worry about whether your credit card is going to run annually, not every 6 months or every month. It costs the most if you pay for it monthly.
Okay, you first, Eugene, we got you in. And Debbie, we got you in. It was the confirmation page. So you guys are good.
Okay, so Ryan, refund my money.
I got you.
Also, make sure I did it twice.
I did. I see it twice there. You guys are we got it taken care of.
You got it taken care of once or twice.
We just charged it a third time since you asked us that. No, we'll get to make sure you only do once, Eugene. We're
All
really
right.
cool about this stuff. Like I got you totally handled. Platinum Circle members, you guys obviously are part of that already. So, Deborah says, if you give us groups, how do we know if they are our target? You're going to work with Ryan directly. If we've got a group that's in your target market, fantastic. We'll give that one to you. If not, you don't need to totally worry about it, because we're going to rebrand the group together anyways, and you'll change it out to be your zip code and your ideal client as well. So that is no problem. Google index your group name or business name. You have 20 Google emails. How is it tied to your name versus a business name? I don't totally understand. Google is indexing the Meetup group itself. So if it says meetup.com/real estate investors surprise Arizona 91 whatever the zip is, that's how it will index. So that's why we like to make the name of the group be something that somebody might search for.
And not only does it index the name of the group, it also indexes your events. So every event that you post, when you use the keywords and stuff, that's all indexed.
And this is massive, you guys, because Meetup wants to put people in front of your groups and wants to and if you're doing some kind of like weekly webinar or a monthly webinar, or maybe you're promoting somebody else's webinar, heck, you could find some affiliate program that's running some webinar and run their webinar for you. There's a ton. I mean, listen, there are so many ways to monetize these things, you guys. I can sell sponsorships. We sell blasts where somebody will give us an email and we'll send out an email blast to all of our meetup groups for $100, right? How many times do we have to do that before we pay for? So we run a deal where they can do it $100, or we'll do it 12 times once a month for $1,000, right? Doesn't take too many of those in order to cover the cost of it. You can leverage them like Debbie's leveraging them. So let's say she's looking for a real estate agent in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and somebody's interviewing a bunch of different agencies, and Debbie wants her. She could say, "Hey, I've got a group in Chattanooga, Tennessee of 3,000 people in Chattanooga. I'll just put it in your name." So we can do all kinds of different things to leverage things out.
So, Case, there's some questions in the
Yeah,
chat.
I'm sitting here. I'm still up at Bonnie. So Bonnie says, "What's the first thing I should do once I take over a group?" Rebrand it with all your own links. I change out all the social media. I change out the letter. I would change everything out immediately.
Turn off discussions.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Also, I would turn off discussions. Okay, just make a note, turn off discussions. For those of you the intensive will do each of these minor things together, but they're big major. The discussions are where people spam. So let's say Eugene has a group and he's got discussions on. I can go into his group and I can post a discussion and it gets emailed to everybody. So you want to stay away from that. You'll have a lot of spammers that do that. So take the discussions off. So honestly, Bonnie, let me go back and re-answer your question. I would first turn discussions off, and then secondly, I would rebrand. It's that important.
Remove any other co-organizers who are left there, because when the organizer steps down, the group is available for anyone to take over. But if they had any co-organizers or event organizers or anything like that, those people don't go away, they stay on. And so you need to remove them from being a co-organizer. And I don't remove them from the group. I just change them from co-organizer to member.
Yeah, we call it changing the membership role, changing the membership role. Okay. And Debbie's got a good point. So, Bonnie, let me reiterate. Number one, turn off discussions. Number two, remove all of the extra people that have access to be able to manage the group. Any organizer, any event leaders, anything, just remove them as that role and then rebrand. Unless Debbie has something else she does. I'm going by how we rebrand. We actually have a checklist of doing this. But it's really important because here's why this is important. Let's say I take over a group that Drew was Eileen owned the group and Drew was her co-organizer, meaning maybe Drew worked with Eileen. Eileen doesn't pay her bill. I take over the group. Drew gets mad at me and sends out an email to everybody on the group calling me a meanie. Unless I remove him, he has the ability to do that. Okay, so we want to remove anybody being able to send anything meanie on us. Okay?
And Casey, where do you find who is the co-people?
It says leadership team and it'll show you. So for example, see it says organizer, it says me and one other. If I open this up, this is going to show me who the organizers are. Me and me. Okay. So what we do, guys, one of the things that we'll do is we want to insulate your group. So when you take over a group, you'll want to have a co-organizer be someone in your team, on your team. Or what we do is we actually have a co-organizer that's the same or co-organizer across our entire platform, who essentially is one of our virtual assistants, so that he can go in and change everything and we don't have to dilly-dally with it.
So Casey, following in your footsteps, real estate networking, and real estate investing. I'm on events. I've put in Connecticut. I put in New Jersey. I'm scanning. It doesn't look like as robust as yours. I'm wondering if I already have
As
an
you're
account.
looking, I want you to change that from events to groups.
I got it in groups.
Yeah.
And
Where are you?
there's a lot.
You might have to go down smaller because I know Connecticut, Frank's out in Connecticut as well. And I know I've worked with him on some of this, so some of that stuff is a little bit smaller.
I think I actually have two meetup groups in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take them over?
Oh, I don't know, Drew. We might be able to work something out, but for
Exactly.
now,
When you come into the intensive, Drew, which is where you should be, this is the kind of stuff they do. This is why these guys are talking like this. So, Sandy says, if you are at 3 and then a better one comes along, how do you get rid of the one you don't want anymore? Great question, Sandy. What you'll do is either
hey
Ryan,
Ryan, turn your mute. Thank you.
um, uh, sorry, I just got my train of thought just stopped. You're going to do one of two things, Sandy. Either you'll set up a second Gmail account and you'll move one of those into the other account, or you just step down as the organizer. Okay, it's pretty simple. But can I give you guys a little strategy? With all these people in the intensive and the meetup WhatsApp channel, what they do is they say, hey, I want to step down from this, and they give it to somebody else in the group, but they remain on as a co-organizer, and then they just do a partnership so that if Jay has an extra space, he'll take on that, so you may not want to get rid of it entirely. Okay? Um, uh, after the WhatsApp 4-week intensive, WhatsApp group is still active? Yep. Yep. Bonnie says, how much time commitment in hours per week is required week in addition to the Monday coaching calls to be successful? Don't have a great answer for that. It's totally going to depend. You should be, I would say very little is my true answer. I run a massive portfolio and our time spent on it is not very much. Because we've got it down to a science when we email out everybody, boom. If we need to set up an event, it takes 2 minutes to set up an event. It's just your standard. Where do you want people to go? What's the event about? Is this recurring or is this a one-off? So not too much. And here's the true answer. Once you understand it and you've got practice at it, it's just like everything else. You can be lazy at it. You can be lazy at it for sure and not do anything and you won't get any results. And then you'll fall back into doing what you were doing before and not getting the same result, right? This is just another thing. You'll understand this. By the end of the 4 weeks, you will know you won't have any more questions. You just won't. And the only reason I know that is we've done this now. I think this is our third one. And if people have questions, Debbie's in the WhatsApp chat, Jay's in the WhatsApp chat, Ryan and I are in the WhatsApp chat. Like people get their stuff answered very, very quickly. I think there's like 50 people in there. So easy. How tech savvy is required. I don't even make nice Canva, Bonnie. Me either. Me either. Truth be told, I'm going to say you could probably go into the WhatsApp chat and say, hey, could somebody make me a quick Canva, a quick thing with um, my name on it? And they'll probably just do it. I can't guarantee that, but we have so many people that are super fast in there.
And when I first started doing this, I had my logo or banner photo um, made on Fiverr. I paid somebody $5 to make me a banner thing. I don't do that now. We have insider AI tools that make our lives really, really easy that, we're happy to share with people. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many quick, easy ways to make something. And I know Drew said he was real estate. I dropped the name of a group in there. That one's in Washington, D.C. that needs an organizer, and I think it had 1,400 people in it. So I didn't drop the group. When I opened my meetup this time, at the top it said this group needs an organizer, and I went, I've already got 3 in Washington, D.C. in that area. I don't need that one.
Uh, So Ellen says, how important is a topic to how important is this topic to a college person majoring in marketing? I'm not totally sure what that means. Do you want to help me out?
I have a granddaughter who is majoring in marketing at the University of Oregon. And I don't know that they ever talk about anything like this, like
They
Meetup.
don't. They don't.
So it
If
might be good.
this is how this and gang, this is how this is just my view on this. Um, this is just a tool. There are going to be people that don't get this and don't understand it, and this is awesome. There are going to be people that come in here and build groups of 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people and then walk away from it because they can't figure it out. They don't want to ask, they don't want to figure it out. They go, "Oh, it's going to cost me $180. I'm out." I love those people. If you're telling me that I can be in front of three groups of, let's call it 1,000 people apiece, if I can be in three groups of 3,000 people and I can email them as many times as I want for $180, like show me a better plan. There are people spending $250,000 on Facebook ads, for crying out loud.
I was thinking that perhaps she could shine in her class if that was something that she ought to
Yeah,
bring it up.
So
absolutely.
Ellen, join the intensive and have your granddaughter come, come to your house and sit on the calls with you and learn at the same time.
I'm thinking of that.
I'll even make it easier for you, Ellen, because I am all about the college student. If you join the intensive, we'll just give her a login to the intensive as well, and she can have access to it.
So
There you go. Perfect. Do you have the same description with links for each group you own, or is it different for each group? I'm lazy. So almost all of mine are exactly the same.
And all of mine are the same because
And Debbie's not lazy.
mine are all real estate. So if you find one of my groups, you're gonna know which groups are mine because they all have the same photo and everything is all the same. And we post the same events in it. There I do have a couple of people in locations that actually host in-person events, but for the most part, all of the events are my virtual events. And I actually see some people on here who occasionally come to my events. So I know who they are.
So, like for example, Suzanne, she lives here in LA. She is an estate planning attorney, and she also does some cool finance stuff. She does a weekly webinar where she's working with women to get their estate plans ready to go. Like this is a perfect thing to give you access to have as many people come. Now, we do Eventbrite. So we take our email list, we drop it in Eventbrite. We send out 10,000 emails a day through Eventbrite. We use Meetup groups. We use Facebook groups to generate leads. We use LinkedIn groups to generate leads. We have a strategy where we show people how to do LinkedIn, where you could be doing a LinkedIn event and we invite 1,000 people a week to a LinkedIn event. Guys, business is a moving fast, and the more likelihood you are in front of your absolute ideal client, the more places we can find them and get you in front of them, the higher the likelihood they're going to say, "Yep, I'm interested. I need an estate plan. I need a training platform. I want a network marketing opportunity." Okay.
Said no one ever. I'm sorry.
The what?
So
Said no one ever.
Yeah.
I need a network marketing opportunity. I'm just kidding.
Listen, I actually did say that. I got out of a company. This is years ago. I got out of a company. I got put in a company. That company sold. I didn't like the ownership. I knew kind of the strategy. I knew what I did. I went looking. I literally went looking. And just for some context, I'm a guy you probably want in your network marketing business because every single company I've ever touched, I'm in the top 10 incomers on. Why? Because of this.
Makes sense. Yep.
So there are pages and pages of different ways to profit from these meetup groups. By the way, Check this out. If you were a consultant, an AI consultant, and you consulted small businesses, couldn't you go develop a meetup group and then literally go and sell that group to some small business, or go build out a small portfolio of meetup groups and sell that portfolio of meetup groups? Yeah. Could you use it if you were up against somebody? So, Chad and I are both consultants, and we're trying to get Jay to hire us. Chad talks about how awesome he is, and I say, hey, I'm awesome too. He's much better looking than I am. But I'll tell you what, Jay, I come and I'm going to give you 3 meetup groups that have 6,000 people in, and I'll even help you show how to run it. Now all of a sudden I compete. I can't compete in the looks department, right? I mean, I get it. I've got a face for radio. But Chad's good looking dude. I got to compete with that. This just helps me get a little bit of a little bit of an edge.
Yes, they're being used in Australia. I actually had 2 real estate meetup groups in Australia, and I dropped them. I think Jay picked up at least one of them.
Yeah, Jay's a machine. Jay, how big is your portfolio now? I knew it was huge at one point. I knew you were paring some back.
I have 100 plus groups right now. And to tell you, to show you how easy this is, that group that, let's see here, the group that you dropped, LA Web Podcasting
Yep.
Group, I've already gotten it and I've already rebranded it.
Boom. There he goes. That's what we're talking about. That's why he's got 100 plus groups. So Jay's in a network marketing organization. Can you imagine what it looks like when he sends out an email to all 100 of those groups, all the people in the side of the groups, that says, hey, come take a look at what I got. It may not be for you, but it might be. Right? What if this is the best email you ever received in your life? Now, can I take you guys one step like deeper in terms of nerdy McNerdiness? You know that if you own a group in a city and you go to the city to check on your group, it might be tax deductible.
I might need that group back from you in Australia, Jay.
So there are some additional strategies that we can use that give us extra profits for sure.
And you guys were talking about how to monetize. Casey may not like me saying this, but he monetized his meetup groups by getting you guys all here. Who's joining the meetup intensive? Like that is monetizing the groups. Ellen, like, where did Ellen go? I know she raised her hand and somebody else already paid.
I'm here.
And he got my credit card, even though I'm. So Casey's monetizing this. That's 100% the way to do it. You got to find something to sell to them. And then the other thing is, somebody asked if you have a pro membership, do you get everybody's email? You don't get everybody's email from Meetup, no matter what you do. But if you create events and make people register for the events, that's how you get their email address. And my goal is, yeah, I've got all these groups, but I want them out of Meetup where I have to pay to have their attention to somewhere where I have their email address and I no longer have to pay for their attention. If that makes sense?
Yeah. So one of our strategies that we do is we send out a weekly newsletter, right? So we've been sort of getting this newsletter. So if you're on my email list, for example, you get every Wednesday, you get the Expand the Business weekly newsletter, right? And now what we can do is now we can just take that newsletter, copy it, go over, paste it in an email, send it to all 128,000 people like that. Okay. How common are small meetup groups that have folks who have larger businesses that are looking to get ready for exit? I would take a step back and look at who that person actually is, right? So I'm probably looking at groups of people that are on their way to retirement. And here's how I think about this. if I'm over 50 and I'm looking to retire and I'm on Meetup, I'm not looking to go hiking and dog walking. I'm looking for business. I'm in those groups where I'm talking about businesses and I'm over 50 or over 45. I'm probably there talking about how do I get rid of this thing? So Azim, what I would do is I would actually do a couple of strategy with this. I'd probably start a group where I could
That's what I was
attract,
thinking.
start one group, and then take over two other groups and market those two other groups to just
The
get on a
new
call
group.
with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
or to get on a call with you. I mean, I know you, and if they can get on a call with you, run them through your process, run them through your interview process, run them through your, hey, do you meet these requirements? Let's jump on and have a call.
Okay.
To me, it
Yeah,
is
that makes
to me to be honest with you, it's such a low minute cost to potentially find a client where nobody else is looking.
hmm. Hmm. Because those groups themselves would have like the people in the business group, because then you're actually segmenting them out by people, like say 50 looking to retire in the next 3 years or whatever it is. And they, as you just said, because that's what was my thought process, was you'd set up your own, farm the others in terms of attracting the people, say, oh yeah, that's me, I'm looking at doing, and then put them in their own little subset. So therefore creating a small group, which is not at a level that we would want to find because they're less than 500, but they are essentially representing the ideal person that I'm looking for. If there's 100 of them in there, then happy days, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And then for you, I would just try to get them off of Meetup and into a
Yeah.
call with you
Yeah.
as fast as possible.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thanks for that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and absolutely. And you can even set it up, guys, where when somebody joins a group, they get a welcome email from you. So you could even set it up that says, hey, super excited to have you join the underwater basket weaving group. I'm Casey. I'm super excited to hear helping you out or whatever. By the way, if you're over 50 and looking to retire and exit your business, here's my email address. Like, skip all this nonsense. Shoot me an email. Let's jump on a call. Like you have that ability. The connection between when you own the group to the members is pretty freaking good. It's a different, let me say, I should probably say this. It's a different group of people. These are not folks that you're going to find at your BNI meetings. They're not going to be the folks that you find at your chamber meetings. They're already doing that stuff. These are going to be people that don't want to do any of that nonsense. That's why I love it, because nobody's talking to them. If I'm a real estate agent and I go to a chamber meeting, I throw a rock and I hit seven other real estate agents. But I come on Meetup and, I'm not competing with them because I own them. I own the group. We have a client who he owns 4 or 5 groups. He's in the probate space, and he sends out weekly emails that's a newsletter all about the weekly probate, what's going on, what the rates are, so on and so forth. And truth be told, is what he's really doing is he's recording a podcast video, he's putting it on YouTube, and then the meetup emails basically drive people back to look at his podcast, which is a whole nother thing because then he's monetizing YouTube and building a big deal. He's with EXP as well, so that's like devil talk to Debbie, but um, but yeah, so and it's just part of the process, you know.
It would be devil talk if it wasn't Bill.
Yeah, exactly. But Bill's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions for you guys? Strategy or logistics or granular? You got Debbie on here, you got me in here, you got Jay in here.
So what are some other ways that you monetize the group? Because if you own 20 groups, that's what, 3,600 every 6 months. You must be doing something to make that money back.
Yeah, I own 60 groups or
Oh,
70.
60 groups. Well,
Yeah.
that's what?
So if
15,000.
Yeah. So, but here's how I look at it. What's a lifetime value of a customer for me? Right? So that's one way to look at it. I've made my money back for a gazillion years from now until the day I die, through Meetup, right? But let's say I wanted to just make some quick cash, right? I could literally go to Amazon, become an affiliate on Amazon, and send out an email once a week to everybody in the meetup group that says, hey, this is Jennifer's book pick of the week, and put an affiliate link to Jennifer's book pick of the week. Or Jennifer, what's your business? What business are you in?
I'm a speaker, Jennifer Speaks, and I have a book on Amazon.
Okay. So great. So Jennifer Speaks. So I would go get a bunch of groups. Do you sell stuff to other speakers? Are you like a speaker coach?
No,
What's your topic?
I have 18, but I do personality styles in the workplace, Myers-Briggs.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So I'd be looking for business owners or HR directors that do you go in and do corporate things with like business?
Yep.
Yeah. So now I'm looking for those type of businesses. If you want to do it live, then I would find those groups that are inside of there. I would sell because don't you guys have a thing where they go take a test and you get your
You could do it that you can't ethically you can't do it that way.
yeah. However, there are lots of things that you could teach. You could sell your own book. You could do workshops, live workshops where you say, "Hey, I'm going to get in and I'm going to explain this. If you've been asked at your workplace to take this test, let me interpret it for you, right? Let
Okay.
me show you the different ways. Then if you have 18 different topics, I'd maybe try to find groups that speak to the people that would hire you in order to or whoever the ideal audience would be. So event planners,
Yeah.
event producers, those type of things.
Jeff, first something I want to mention to you is what I do is I sell webinars to my meetup groups. So if you're looking for somebody to market your webinar, I'm your person to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. So Jennifer, if you have an affiliate link to your stuff and you're in our intensive, then you go to everybody and say, "Hey, does anybody have stuff that they want to promote?" They'll promote it for you. So the flip side of that, you could go in there and say, "Hey, I've got an open slot for my groups. Anybody want to be a co-organizer? Come in and go promote your stuff." So many of you came to Networking Riches because I recognize a bunch of you, right? So let me tell you how we did that. So our affiliate program in Networking Riches is we pay out 100% of anybody that upgrades to VIP. So for example, Debbie let us promote Networking Riches to her meetup groups. I went in and promoted our event to her groups using her link. So she made money. She made money. I'm going to have to write her a check here in about 3 days. Right? That's one way. You could work with another collab. Okay. So if you're a speaker, okay, I'm going to get in trouble. No speaker in here. Please don't share this with anybody outside this group. Circle of trust. This is my circle of trust thing. Okay. So Jennifer, how many of these stupid summits have you been on where they force you to like go market and you're the only one that markets and nobody else markets it? Almost all of them, right? So what if you said to the promoter, "Hey, you know what? I've got a portfolio of 120,000 people in Meetup, and I'm going to go promote the summit to those 120,000 people. You'll be booked on every summit on the planet. And now you're also not burning your own list, which is what every speaker hates doing. And you're promoting the summit. And so I don't get too worked up over the people in Meetup because it's a tough bunch. Like it's not like you're going to send out an email and get a 40% open rate and a 30% show up rate. It's just not going to work like that. Um, you know, but yeah. Solan says, how active are people seriously with Meetup group versus Facebook groups? I joined programs, hardly use the program Facebook, so not that effective for me. What is Meetup trend? So this is sort of how I'll answer it. Facebook groups are just another way to generate leads for your business, right? I lost my Facebook oh, by the way, can I do something? I'm going to be a total if you and I are not connected on Facebook, and you may think we are, I would love for you guys to send me a friend request. You'll see sharks at the top, but let me tell you what happened. 20 years I've been with Facebook. I've never made a bad post in my life. Anybody that knows me, our platinum, I am one of the most boring posters. I don't post about sports, politics, sex, religion, negative, none of that stuff. Somebody hacked into my account in December and started posting kitty porn all over Facebook. I got the account taken away. I can't get it back. I did the bioscan. I've hired people. I can't get it back after 20 years. Didn't skip a beat. I started a new Facebook profile and away we rocked and rolled because I have a bunch of Facebook groups that I generate leads from every single day. Because I use the same strategy over there, meaning I have other admins in there so that if I get booted out, I still own them, I still have access to them. Didn't skip a beat at all. Just moved right on. I only have like 400 friends on Facebook right now. So if you guys would be one of my friends on Facebook, I would love that. And I just, because I don't get worked up about that stuff because I'm really trying to build a business. And the reality is that I'm trying to get people out of social media onto my email list or at my events. I'm trying to get people out of meetup groups into my email list and onto my events. I'm trying to get people out of LinkedIn events, and onto my email list and ultimately to my events. So the strategy doesn't change. It's just the mechanism. What scares me is when people have one place that they generate leads. That's what scares, and they're not really even generating leads. They're not really generating leads. Like, I want to know how many people are coming onto the email list every day. Oh, but I go in and post. This is Debbie. I don't want to take this off the topic of Meetup here. But the reason that Debbie has a massive publishing company is because she was posting in everybody else's Facebook groups and they got mad at her and slapped her hand. And so we went and started one on her own. And she started with her and her mom, and now she has 370,000 people in there and an email list of over 200,000 people. And she would have had an email list of way more than that if she would have focused on generating the emails up front. But that's okay. She's cranky. She got one of the best publishing companies for real estate agents on the planet. And that's why she can send out an email and builds an agency of 200 agents in a matter of 6 months.
So, Casey, one thing that I want to mention is I crunched some numbers because when Jennifer said, wow, that cost you this amount, and she said 15,000 or something, and then I was like, wait, that it's not as bad as what she is saying, because I want to make sure that everyone understands it's $300 a year for 3 groups. So it's basically $100 a year per group. And your first year, you get 30% off of that if you do it the right way. So Casey has 60 groups. So even beyond the first year, he's paying $6,000, not 15 or whatever the number. I think
what I heard was 180 per group, and then I asked the question in the chat, and it said whenever you take over a group, you got to pay the 180 right away. So is that incorrect?
It is incorrect. It is 180 per email per 6 months. So it's if you pay it annually, it's $300 a year. That gives you 3 groups. And the first year, when the very first time you do it with each email address, there's a 30% off coupon. So your first year is 30% less. So that's how that works.
Yeah. So Jennifer, let me add into what Debbie said. So Debbie's 100% correct. When you take over your first group, you think of it like this. You're paying $180 for your account, and that account can own 3 groups. Okay, so even if you take over one group, if you've got the other 2 slots open, you are still paying that $300. So you're not paying per group. You're paying for that account that can own up to 3 groups.
So it's 180 plus the 300? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's
I'm getting lost.
Okay, let me break down the cost for you guys. Okay, it is $180 per 6 months for an account to be an organizer account.
Now 3 emails.
That organizer account can own up to 3 different groups. When you first join as an organizer, you get a 30% off coupon. So if you pay it annually, which I think is 300 or 180, which is every 6 months, they will give you 30% off that, whatever that first payment is. So here's what happens, Jennifer. People go, well, I'm going to dabble and I'm going to stick my toe in it. I'm not going to really be committed. So what they do is they join and they do monthly. And monthly is like 30 bucks a month. And then they save $10 on that 30 bucks a month. And then they come to the intensive and then they figure out how to make a bunch of money. And now they are spending 30 bucks a month when they could have just spent 200 instead of 300 for a year. Now, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I just, when we talk about return on investment, it's a lot easier for me to make a positive return on a $200 investment than it is on a $300 investment. And when you're running 20, 30 accounts, it adds up. So 2,000 bucks, someone will say, well, what, you really would spend 2,000? Yeah.
You're getting the return, of course.
100%. 100%. As long as the return's there, like if I knew I could put $2,000 in and get $15,000 out, why would I not do that?
Right.
Casey, you said to wait for the email for someone that the group gets disconnected. Is there a faster way? Like I have 2 groups, they're dead groups. I have nothing going on with them. I just joined while on this webinar, like 10 groups. So is there a faster way to just find a group, or no, you just kind of got to play and network and be engaged?
You can kind of do a couple of things. So I would go join 100, like first assignment in the intensive is I'm going to have you guys join 100 groups. Because I need you in volume, in full action, right? Now, if you really wanted a group, you could easily email the organizer. Just click on the thing and send the organizer. Here's what I found. When you send an email to the organizer and say, hey, I'd like to take over your group, then all of a sudden they get really interested in their own group. So I don't get emotional about any of these. Same with my Facebook groups. I just don't get emotional about them. I'm going to join 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000 groups. And I will just simply wait until somebody walks away. But Debbie, you're part of what? About 1,800 groups as a member?
Yeah.
So she's got.
And sorry, go ahead, Case.
I was just going to say she's got 1,800. She's got 1,800 groups, but she's mining those groups for people that are walking away. So why put in the effort of going out and going active on it when she can just sit and wait? And every day at 1,800 groups, here's the other great thing. Meetup just raised their rates a little bit, which means that when people start getting their credit card dings, they get all freaked out. Oh, I've had groups for 5 years and I've never done anything with them. Great. What have you done? Well, I posted on Facebook a bunch. Awesome. Don't pay your bill. Jay will scoop it up. Between Jay and Debbie, the 2 of them are the Meetup scoop machines.
So Drew, the other thing that I would do if I were you is as I'm joining these groups, I would take a look at their activity and see, have they recently hosted an event? How long has it been since they hosted an event? Because something I've noticed recently that Meetup is doing that they weren't doing before is I am now getting an email 30 days before my annual charge is going to hit my credit card. And so now that they're doing that, people are going, oh no, I don't want to pay this bill. I'm not doing anything with the Meetup group. I'm going to go in and cancel it. Where before they didn't cancel it because damn it, it just ran. I've got it for another year, right? So go in there and see how active, when was the last time they hosted an event? And if that was 6 months or a year or 3 years ago, you have a really good chance of reaching out to the organizer and having them say, oh yeah, I forgot I even own that group. Sure. And you might say, I'll send you a $10 Starbucks card and take it over. And you know what? I'll even let you stay in the group and be an event organizer. There's a big difference between a co-organizer and an event organizer in their permissions and what they can do. So you say, I'll even let you stay in and be an event organizer if you want to start getting a little bit more active. And I'm now paying the membership and you don't have to.
Is it a similar, thank you. Thanks, Debbie. Is it similar and different strategy, but similar with the Facebook groups? It's the same kind of mindset, just a little different because it's.
Yeah, I would say uh, the bones are the same. The bones are this. Here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, we're at the top of the hour, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. You need leads. Like, if you show me a business that has more leads than time, then you're cranking. And we got a different problem to have. And that problem is we got to build a better system. But if you don't have enough leads of people to talk to in your business, you got to do something or you're going to go ask for a job somewhere. It's just really kind of that simple. So this is just an easy way to get in front of a bunch of people. I tell this story sometimes from the stage. I've told this story on podcast a bunch as well. When I was in high school, I wanted to make a bunch of money. And I went to an Amway meeting when I was a sophomore in high school. This is when they were still selling soap, right? And I go to sit in this Amway meeting and I just looked around. My eyes were like this big, right? I'm like, this is awesome, right? I'm like, why is everybody not jumping on stage? So I go up and I talk to the guy doing the presentation. It was he and a gal. And I was like, this is awesome. And they said something to me forever changed my life. Now I didn't join Amway, but I always remember this. I wish I could remember who it was that told me this. But the guy said, he or she who has the marker makes the money. And what that really meant was he or she who has the people in front of them en masse is usually the one making the money. I've just adopted that. Like, I just want to be in front of as many people as possible in as many different ways as possible, talking about as many different things that they're interested in as possible, so that at some point somebody says, hey, Case, I think what you got is really awesome. If you're doing this for free, I can only imagine what I'm going to get on the intensive. That's my goal. My goal, you guys, with all of you, is that you go, oh my gosh, if this is what this dude is giving us for free, I can only imagine what we're going to get for $500. For some people, Eugene, I don't think I've ever met Eugene before. I could be wrong. Eugene's in, right? Eileen, you guys heard Eileen. She's in, right? She's been around me for 20 years. My goal is always to give as so much value that at some point somebody just goes, you know what, dude? I'm in. Let's work together. And I want that for all of you. I want you guys to be so value driven for people in front of you that people are just like, Jennifer, my gosh, I can't even imagine what it's like working with you if I'm actually a client. Like, you've explained everything. You've taken away the scary. I don't know what even a personality test is. And now I've taken a personality test and somebody's actually explained it to me and stuff that I've understood. And it's not just some symbol that some HR asshole is trying to use to fire me with. And then I got to go talk to Suzanne and hire an attorney to get me out of this. Or, like if you guys will just give value to a bunch of people at any given time, there are going to be some people that finally just go, you know what? I'm in. It's almost like wear them down with value.
Yep.
And if you can do that and really come from who you are being, you guys, the game is open. And let me tell you, you're competing with AI. And you don't even want to get me started down this. Don't even get started going down this road. But y'all don't have a lot of time. And by y'all, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, by the way. So yes, you do have to be in the group to be able to take it over. Marcy asked,
I'm
could
wearing my hat.
help you set some stuff up? You can have AI certainly help, like write some descriptions for you, help some do some of that. I don't know if it's totally integrated yet, but it will be for sure. Awesome. By the way, if you guys need money for your business, you've got like a real business and you need cash, you should ping up Marcy Grange, Seagram Financial. She sells cash. She's happy to sell you some cash, right? So, okay, you guys, awesome. For those of you that are in, I'm super, super excited. For those of you that are on the bubble or whatever, you guys, I don't know. It's either something that you just go, you know what, I get it, I'm in, or it's not. I totally understand that. And again, remember that we are going to assign groups to you guys based on the order that you come in. Okay. So I've got about another week and a couple of, oh, sorry, Len. We're gonna do Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Yep, and they usually run about 2 hours. So we kind of do the same thing. I'll talk for about an hour. We'll kind of do some nitty-gritty training, and then we'll open it up for Q&A, and we'll play around in there. And usually what it turns into is a big mastermind, and everybody starts exploring different ways to, like when I start talking about how to monetize these things, people like really get in there and get really creative and excited, and that's when we go. And by the way, on the intensive, we invite all the people that have been previous intensives back. Like they're welcome to come and join us. And so it's just a great conversation. So awesome, Lan. I would love to have you in. Remember you guys put that remember to put get 500 and it'll save $500 off of it for you. Okay. Awesome, you guys. Thank you for those of you that sent me friend requests. I got several messages. I appreciate that. It's sort of weird when I'm like, oh, I've got 400 friends on Facebook, and people are like, what? So, anyways, okay, you guys, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for popping on. I hope you got some value out of it. Go join some meetup groups. Go play around. You can't break the system. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Debbie, for your help. I really appreciate it. She's awesome. By the way, if you guys are real estate agents and you're looking for a new home because your home sucks, you should talk to Debbie. Okay, with with that, you guys. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Ciao, ciao.